Do you remember Shazam, that movie in which comedian Sinbad played a genie? Well, if you do, you should take a good, long, hard look at yourself because that movie never existed. I'm serious.
Nah, he did it? I thought he was. No, he didn't. I think I think the movie he played, it was called Sinbad. What's up, y'all? Welcome to my channel, Vidwon Reacts. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, tell me what you want me to watch and what you want me to react to. Today we're gonna get into this video by List 25. It's called 25 Examples of the Mandela Effect. The reason I bring up this video is because earlier I was talking about the Pooh Shiesty thing and with Gucci Mane, and I was talking about how the internet nowadays is like a big cause of the Mandela effect. You see it, you post it, the next person does. Next thing you know, a lie could turn into one big conspiracy. Let's get into the video right away so you can see what I mean. 25 insane Mandela effect examples that will blow you away.
Only to find out you and maybe thousands of others were totally wrong. Welcome to the mind-blowing world of the Mandela effect. Named after the iconic South African leader, Nelson Mandela, this curious phenomenon happens when a large group of people remember something one way, only to discover they've got it all wrong. And trust me, we've got some real head-scratchers for you. From New Zealand's mistaken location to wonky memories when it comes to what we love to eat and watch on screen, I'm Mike with List 25, and here are 25 insane Mandela effect examples that'll blow your mind. 25. The Great Bear Name Debate. Remember the beloved children's series, The Berenstain Bears? Well, you
Yeah, the Bernstein Bears. I remember them.
might recall it as the Berenstain Bears with an E, right? Well, brace yourself. It's always been Berenstain, as confirmed by the Library of Congress.
You sure? That's weird. I remember it. Well, that's crazy.
The discrepancy has sparked lots of debate, with many fans swearing by the Stein spelling. It also got a lot stranger when old memorabilia surfaced showing the name Berenstain on the book covers. Since many people believe the Mandela effect is caused by time travelers messing with our past, that or we live in a parallel universe, I'll leave it to you to decide if this is only a case of mistaken identity. 24. The turkey leg that never was. If you've ever pictured Henry VIII gnawing on a turkey leg, well, you're not alone. Many remember a famous painting of the English king seated at a table proudly holding a turkey leg. But here's the kicker. That painting doesn't exist. The actual artwork shows Henry with a pair of leather gloves and the string of a scabbard. The turkey leg image seems to be a collective
Oh shit. And then after a while, that shit turned like it was the original. They even got a State Farm commercial. That's crazy.
mirage fueled by a mix of media depictions and the Mandela effect. 23. Peanut butter pandemonium. The world of delicious spreads has its own fair share of mystery thanks to the Mandela effect. You might remember a popular peanut butter brand as Jiffy, but here's the twist. It's always been Jif. Launched in 1958 after a rebrand.
Nah. It used to be Jiffy, wasn't it? And then they switched it to Jif? That's crazy.
From Big Top Peanut Butter, Jif has remained consistent in its name, and yet a lot of peanut butter enthusiasts swear they remember it differently. They're probably getting confused with Jiffy Pop. That's my take on it. 22. Is it Looney Tunes or Looney Tunes? If you've ever wondered whether the classic cartoon featuring Bugs Bunny and his pals was really called Looney Tunes with 2 O's, you're not alone. Fans of this iconic series have been debating the name for years. The confusion likely arises because Looney Tunes with 2 O's just sounds like it should fit better with a cartoon about wacky characters. But despite what your memory might tell you, it's always been Tunes. The mix-up probably comes from Warner Brothers drawing inspiration from Disney.
But that shit don't make no sense though. It's like tunes. They're Looney Tunes. You know, cartoons, short for cartoon. Why? That's crazy. I thought it was Looney Tunes. You know, to match the double O's from the beginning.
These silly symphonies in the 1920s, which were all about musical shorts. So, Tunes with the U was a nod to the musical theme of Warner Brothers' own animated series, not a typo. Still having that debate with my mom. We had a dog named Petunia. When we shortened her name to Tunes, I went with Tunes because Petunia, and she always spelled it Toons. I'm like, that makes literally no sense, Mom. Let me know in the comments below. Who's right, my mom or me? That'll go over well. 21. Pikachu's black-tipped tail. Pikachu, the beloved yellow electric Pokemon, has been a pop culture icon since its debut. But did you know that some fans are convinced that Pikachu's tail used to have a black or red tip? According to
That's crazy because I think I could draw, and I think I drew it with the black tip a couple of times.
these fans, Pikachu's tail wasn't always the solid yellow we see today. They remember seeing a distinct stripe or black shadow on the tail. So, what's the deal? Well, it turns out the confusion might come from early versions of the game, Pokemon Red and Blue, where Pikachu's tail did have a black shadow in some sprites. And while some recent depictions, like in Detective Pikachu, might show a black stripe or shadow, the classic Pikachu design has always been just yellow. Hey guys, just jumping in here real quick to tell you some exciting news. You know how you love watching our videos for amazing facts?
Believe that though. They changed it.
Sporting red shorts with suspenders. Despite what your memory might insist, Mickey Mouse has never actually worn red shorts with suspenders in any official appearance. From his first animation to modern-day renditions, Mickey's classic look has always featured red shorts without the added accessory of suspenders.
Oh shit.
It's probably the two buttons. People think that's where suspenders go, so their brain just probably fills in the rest. 19. Would you like some Captain Crunch or Captain Crunch?
It's Captain.
The debate over Captain Crunch's name is a tasty example of the Mandela effect in action. While many cereal fans remember the breakfast mascot as Captain Crunch, his official name has always been Captain Crunch.
Yeah, I knew that. Captain Crunch. I always knew that. He was a captain, but you know, he wasn't captain, he was capping. He was straight capping.
But the confusion doesn't stop at the name. Captain Crunch's uniform has its own set of mysteries. Traditionally, American naval officers wear bars on their sleeves to indicate rank.
I don't know about y'all. I used to hate Captain Crunch. Mad people used to love that shit. I used to be like, oh, that shit. It was nasty to me. I don't know. That flavor, like I couldn't take it.
1 for ensigns, 2 for lieutenants, and 3 for commanders. However, Captain Crunch's outfit has never quite matched up with these ranks, sporting a mix of bars over the years. So, whether you remember him as Captain Crunch or Captain Crunch, it turns out that the character's uniform, at least, has been proven inconsistent. 18. What the heck is a Fruit Loop? If I've got you confused, the official name has been Fruit Loops since 1963.
You can't tell me no. I always saw it like that. Fruit Loops with Toucan Sam.
Here's the backstory. Kellogg's first introduced the cereal as Fruit Loops spelled the correct way in 1959, complete with 3 flavors and Toucan Sam. However, since the cereal had no actual fruit, Kellogg's got sued and had to change the name. They relaunched it as Fruit Loops with the 2 O's in 1963, and that's stuck ever since. But here's where it gets interesting. Some fans remember the name swapping back and forth. One Reddit user even said, "Wasn't it Fruit Loops a while ago, and now it's Fruit Loops again?" Seems like others are in the same boat. So, what's your take? Fruit Loops
I think I have seen it like that too. Like in both shits.
or Fruit Loops? It's great without the spelling. 17. Mr. Monopoly's monocle. Does the Monopoly Man sport a monocle or not? Many people could swear he
Nah, he doesn't. Just in the commercials, the new commercials and shit like that. So people see it like that. But I remember the cards, like the pass go. That's the pass go card. Like that with no shit on them.
does, but the truth is, he never has.
Yup.
Rich Uncle Pennybags, the iconic face of Monopoly, is instantly recognizable with his top hat, mustache, and pinstripe suit. But despite the strong visual memory many people have of him wearing a monocle, it's simply not true. This case of the Mandela effect has left many scratching their heads. So if you remember him sporting that signature monocle, rest assured, you're not the only one feeling a bit frazzled by the mix-up. I think this one is people confusing Mr. Peanut. I think they're taking his monocle. 16. Where on earth did New Zealand go? Think you've got geography down? Well, you might be in for a surprise. A surprising number of people remembered New Zealand being in a completely different place on the map. Sure, we know that New Zealand is southeast of Australia, but some people swear it used to be northeast, or even in a totally different location. And it's not just New Zealand.
Nah, I wouldn't be able to tell you.
People have different memories of where Australia is too. Some theories suggest that alternate dimensions or time streams might explain this mix-up. The idea is that we might have merged realities with another timeline where maps and borders were different. So if your sense of direction seems a little off, well, you're not alone. However, the notion that our reality could have subtly shifted is pretty mind-bending. Or just admit you're bad at geography. No need to bring in time-altering realities. You failed geography. That's all there is to it. 15. Oscar Mayer or Oscar Mayer. Here's one that's left plenty of people scratching their heads. Is it Oscar?
Oh shit. I think it's Oscar Mayer with an E.
Oscar Mayer or Oscar Mayer? As it turns out, the hot dogs and lunch meats brand has always been Oscar Mayer with an A, but plenty of folks remember it as Mayer with an E. What really messes with people is the jingle. You know the one. My baloney has a first name, it's OSCAR. My baloney has a second name. There has been much frustration over the mix-up since people remember to be singing along to M-E-Y-E-R and not M-A-Y-E-R. 14.
I don't know. That's crazy because I always thought it was with an E.
Sinbad never played a genie. Do you remember Shazam, that movie in which comedian Sinbad played a genie? Well, if you do, you should take a good, long, hard look at yourself because that movie never existed. I'm serious.
Nah, he didn't? I thought he was. No, he didn't. I think the movie he played, it was called Sinbad.
Despite being remembered by thousands of people, Sinbad never starred as a wish-granting genie in the 90s. There was a movie called Kazam with Shaquille O'Neal as a genie, but Shazam simply isn't real. And yet, some people remember Shazam in great detail, including the plot about two kids summoning a genie and even a spectacular pool party finale. It's okay if you think you've seen it, but don't bother looking it up on IMDb.
Nah, I think wasn't it a movie that it was called Sinbad.
Sinbad's genie role is just a trick of memory, and maybe a touch of Mandela magic. 13. The hyphen in Kit Kat never existed. If you swear that there was a hyphen between Kit and Kat, you're not alone. Plenty of candy lovers distinctly
Of course there was, bro. And then they took it off. Or was there?
remember the famous chocolate bar as Kit Kat, but guess what? There's no official record of that hyphen ever existing. Despite this, some fans recall the dash as clearly as if they'd seen it yesterday. One Reddit user even shared how they once noticed the hyphen had mysteriously vanished, only to later realize It was never there to begin with. So if your memory is insisting that Kit Kat used to have a hyphen, I hate to break it to you,
I'm bugging.
Kit Kat has always been hyphen-free. Though Spider-Man, don't forget the hyphen. 12. Do you call it Cheez-It or Cheez-Its? Let's settle this once and for all.
Cheez-It.
Cheesy cracker you love to snack on has always been
Cheez-It. It gotta be Cheez-It. It's without no S's. There's no S's.
called Cheez-It. Singular.
I knew
Not
it.
Cheez-Its with an S, and definitely not Cheez-Its with a Z, or Z for my UK people, and Canada. Now, rest assured that if you've been calling it the latter your whole life, you're not alone. A bunch of people distinctly remember them as Cheez-Its, and even swear that that's what it says on the box. But go right now, take a look at any packaging you can find, and you'll see it's always been Cheez-It. Why do so many of us add that extra S or Z if we're really cool? Well, maybe because we never just eat one. 11. A galaxy-sized Mandela effect. Okay, let's move on to one of the biggest Mandela effects in the movie world, and it comes from a galaxy far, far away. If you've ever quoted,
Oh shit, Star Wars. My son.
"Luke, I am your father," while wielding an imaginary lightsaber, yeah, you've been saying it wrong this whole time. Star Wars, one of the most iconic.
What you mean? That was one of the biggest lines. Luke, I am your father. No. And he rushes him. Ain't it like that? Ain't it like that? He goes, Luke, I am your father. And then he rushes him. No.
Movie franchises of all time has captivated audiences since 1977, and The Empire Strikes Back gave us what is often considered the most famous movie line ever. But the actual line Darth Vader delivers, it's not, "Luke, I am your father," it's simply, "No, I am your father." It's a small
Oh shit. He's right. He's right. Then what are you? No, I am your father. Nah, I got it wrong. I'm all fucked up. But yo, that movie and that line is epic. It's like epic. How many years already? Oof.
change, but one that throws off countless fans. And who I assume were saying that line into a fan, because everyone did that. Luke, they got it wrong while speaking into a fan. That's always. I don't have a fan with me, or else I'd do it. 10. Did Tom Cruise wear shades or not? The classic risky business scene. Tom Cruise.
Of course, he throws him. No, he comes in and then he throws him on. Puts up his collar, wasn't it?
Sliding across the floor to Bob Seger's old-time rock and roll in nothing but socks, a shirt, and shades? Well, that's where the Mandela effect kicks in. In countless parodies, from The Nanny to Scrubs, people mimic this iconic moment, often adding sunglasses to the mix. But here's the kicker. Tom Cruise didn't wear sunglasses during that legendary dance. In the scene,
Oh
he sports
shit! I could have swore he did.
a white button-down shirt, socks, and no shades in sight. 9. Lucy's misquoted splainin' moment. This might be a bit before your time if you were born, after the 50s, but in the classic sitcom I Love Lucy, fans often recall Ricky Ricardo exasperatedly saying, "Lucy, you've got some splainin' to do." But here's the catch. Ricky never actually says those exact words.
Oh shit!
While he does use phrases like "splain that if you can" or simply "Lucy, splain," the iconic quote you remember is definitely a bit off. 8. Mirror, mirror on the wall. We all grew up with the famous line from Snow White in the 70s.
Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who is the greatest of them all? Who's the most beautiful of them all? You are. And then one she goes, "It's Snow White."
Dwarfs. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest one of all? But guess what? That iconic line is a bit off. The real line is actually magic mirror on the wall, who is the fairest one of all. It's one of those slip ups that's
Oh, come on. Reaching.
stuck in our heads despite the truth. The next time you pop in your old Snow White DVD, or, watch it on streaming, listen closely. You might be surprised at how different it sounds from what you remember. 7. Curious George's missing tail. We all remember Curious George, the lovable monkey from...
Nah, George had a tail because I think I had a book where he was hanging off the tree and the yellow man was next to him.
childhood, swinging through his adventures and with a tail hanging between his legs. Or so we thought. The truth is, Curious George never had a tail. Despite what many of us recall from those classic episodes and books,
Nah, I remember him having a tail, bro. I had a book where the dude was hanging from a tree and he was taking the banana from the guy in the yellow suit.
George is a tailless monkey. He's been swinging through his escapades without that extra appendage all along.
Oh
6.
shit.
That never happened. When it comes to creepy movies, The Silence of the Lambs is in a league of its own. Jodie Foster's portrayal of FBI trainee Clarice Starling and Anthony Hopkins as the eerie Hannibal.
That was a crazy movie. That was a nice book too. And then they did a couple of sequels after that, right? Let me know in the comments. But that shit won fucking awards and everything, b. I think Anthony Hopkins did his thing there. Clarice.
Actor left a lasting impact on moviegoers everywhere. The unsettling dynamic between Clarice and Lecter gave us one of the most widely quoted lines in movie history. Or so we thought. Many people remember Lecter's spine-chilling greeting, "Hello, Clarice." It's referenced
Yeah, I remember that. Hello, Clarice. Don't say it was Clarice.
everywhere from memes to horror spoofs, but guess what? Yeah, never happened. In reality, Hannibal simply says, "Good morning," when they first meet. 5.
Oh,
Tinkerbell
shit.
never wrote the Disney logo. Many Disney fans swear they remember Tinkerbell magically spelling out the word Disney with her wand in the iconic
Hell yeah. You can't tell me no. I've seen that a million times. You can't tell me that was in my fucking head. No, no, no.
opening sequence of Disney films. She'd zip around, waving her wand, and then dot the I with a magical spark. However, as familiar as this scene might feel, the fans are wrong. While Tinkerbell did appear in some Disney intros, especially in the 90s, she was never shown writing out the logo itself. Her role typically involved flying across the screen and sprinkling fairy dust over the Disney castle, but she never took on the job of spelling out Disney with her wand.
Yeah, but that's kind of fairly old. What about the new one? Didn't she write that? I don't know, man. I think I seen that.
It's just a classic case of our collective memory mixing up magical moments. But she definitely did go ting, and then that's when the transition would happen. Usually on top of the castle. 4. Play it again, Sam. Casablanca is packed with memorable lines, but one of the most famous is also one that never actually appeared in the film. Despite popular belief, Humphrey Bogart's character Rick never says, "Play it again, Sam." What actually happens is that Ingrid Bergman's character Ilsa requests a song As Time Goes By with the words, "Play it, Sam, play as time goes by." Later in the movie, Rick simply tells Sam,
Oh shit. That's the ill mix-up. I remember hearing I think I even saw somebody make like a mock video where he say, "Play it again, Sam."
"You played it for her, you can play it for me." So how did Play It Again, Sam become so widely misquoted? Classic Mandela effect, people, reinforced by Woody Allen's 1972 film Play It Again, Sam, which helps cement the misquote in pop culture.
Yeah.
3. The curious case of "Beam me up, Scotty." The phrase "beam me up,
Beat me up, Scotty. You crazy? I remember that. Beat me up, Scotty. Scotty, beat me up. I think it might have been the other way around, but it was something. Beam me up, Scotty.
Scotty is synonymous with Star Trek and is as iconic as any of the show's taglines. However, this famous line is never actually said in Star Trek, at least not in that exact form. While Captain Kirk often communicates with the starship engineer Scotty to be transported back to the Enterprise, the specific line, "Beam me up, Scotty," never appears in the original series nor films. The closest the show gets is variations like "Scotty, beam me up," or "Beam us up, Scotty," which were used in different Star Trek media. Over time, though, the phrase "Beam me up, Scotty" became so ingrained in pop culture that it took on a life of its own, forever associated with Captain Kirk and his space-traveling adventures.
Now, but he said that though. I think he might have been in a planet by himself. Beam me up, Scotty. He might have said some other shit.
Oh my god, that's from redshirtswillalwaysdie.com. what a site name. 2. The chocolatey truth about Forrest Gump's famous line. Who can forget the heartwarming wisdom Forrest Gump's mama passed on to him?
Life's like a box of chocolate. You never know what you're gonna find inside. Some shit like that, right?
The line, "Life is a box of chocolates," has been quoted everywhere, from casual conversations to motivational speeches. It's become an instantly recognizable pop culture gem. However, there is a twist in this sweet piece of wisdom. In the movie, when Forrest sits on the park bench and shares this famous quote, he actually says life was like a box of chocolates. The past tense might seem like a small detail, but it changes the context. Forrest
Oh shit, it does. Now it's like it was to him. So it's like he knows what's inside each chocolate.
is recalling advice his mother gave him, reflecting on how unpredictable life can be. The misquote likely snowballed because it just felt so fitting in the present tense, and that's how it stuck in our collective memory. 1. Mona Lisa's smile. Okay, let's be honest
I know that one. She ain't smiling. On one side she is, I think.
here. In Da Vinci's famous portrait of the Mona Lisa, do you remember her smiling or not?
On one side.
You might be surprised, but thousands of people are convinced she wasn't smiling at all. Even though it's one of the most recognizable paintings ever, some people swear that Mona Lisa has a blank, almost neutral expression, which brings me back to that alternate universe theory. It's crazy to think such an iconic painting could cause so much debate. I mean, her mysterious smile has been analyzed and talked about for centuries, right? Fun fact, her name wasn't always Mona Lisa. It was actually Mona Lisa, which translates to "my lady," and a simple spelling error that changed it. But this whole smile or no smile thing, well, that's got people thinking way beyond typos. Maybe her smile means that we're in the right timeline after all.
Nah, because this is what they told me back then. They said that if you cover half her face, check this out yourself. If you cover half her face, it's like she's not smiling. She has a straight face. And then if you cover the other half, she's smiling. That's what I heard. And I've actually kind of tried it, and it kind of makes sense.
And that's a wrap. If
Yeah, but the reason I bring up this video is because right now with the internet, the Mandela effect is taking its place every day. You understand? And when you're there scrolling and hitting likes and looking up things, what's happening is the internet is creating a narrative for you. You're helping it, but it's creating a narrative for you so it could keep you coming back and believing things. Now, you go from believing something or believing in something to being an extremist. Let that be food for thought. Until next time, man, make sure you like, subscribe, share this. Peace.